This instructional guide will take a look at creating columns and working with multiple columns within a Word document. And this would be obviously typical if you're going to do something like a newsletter or to use like a newspaper column. This is probably one of the more difficult things to understand in terms of getting all the information correct and setting it up properly. So the first one we're going to set up here is looking at the one that says Vacation Planning and Guide. On the bottom of that one there are the specific steps that you're going to need to have. There's no master copy for this one. Basically it needs to look exactly the same as what the handout is looking like. So what you're going to do first is you're going to go up to the Page Layout tab, and this is where you're going to set up your columns. Now we can go right up to Columns here and select two, but we want some more specific things with it. So we're going to go on to More Columns. And you're going to have this pop up. Now we're going to pick two columns. Now on the bottom of that page the width is given to you. Column 1 width, it says, is 3.75. One thing we want to be sure here first is we do not want the columns to be equal. We want this one on the left side to be wider than the one on the right. So I'm going to uncheck this box, equal column width. So if I just went up here and selected 2, it would give me equal columns. So the first one I'm going to have here is 3.75. I'm going to leave the spacing alone, and then the width of the second one is going to be 1.75. Alright, so this is what I end up with, and the last thing I want to do here is click on this box that says Line Between, and this line will appear after you get to the second column. So once you have it set up this way, you're going to hit OK. Now not much maybe looks like it's changed, but if you look on your ruler here, we have a separate margin in this area, and that's our spacing between the two columns. So to get started, the easiest way I think to begin is to start with your word art. So if you go under Insert, and you go under Word Art, again, yours might look a little different than mine. Pick any that you feel enhances your project here. So I'm just going to click on this one. I'm going to name it. All right, and then I'm going to stretch it all the way across to make sure that it covers everything on here. And I don't want to go too far, but I want to make sure I get it onto one line like it shows on the paper. So I'll make it a little bit smaller. Now if I click back in here, now it looks like I'm ready to type. But now if I hit return, it's going to move my word art down. So I'm going to need to click on my word art again. I'm going to bring it right back up to the top. And so I'm able to click below. One thing that you're going to need to notice here is that the left side, the left column is considered justified, meaning that the text is equal on the left and the right side. Okay, so you see a straight line on the left and the right. So make sure when you're creating your left side here, you want to be on this one that's labeled Justify. So not left align, not center, not right, but Justified. So you'll tab that in and begin typing. Please notice the information on the bottom. The left column is 14-point font. So we'll increase that to 14-point font and Justified. Once you get to the right column, which I'll show you in here in a second, make sure you take a look at those directions there. So let me just show you here, if I were to start typing, and obviously you'd keep going with this, and let's say you get done with your paragraph, right on the left side. So you're down to about this area. There's a couple different ways you can get up to the next paragraph. You can right click and go through the process of adding a column break, but I think the easiest way to go is just to hit return all the way down until you get to the next column. And so as soon as I keep typing, you're going to notice that this line appears. Now the line might go up higher than what you intended it to, but that's okay. You can always move that Vacation and Planning Guide title up if you want. Try not to make it look too bad though, where it's going to interfere with it. So once you get to this side, you're going to be able to change it to the 12-point font, and you're going to have it on left align, and everything is going to be capitalized and bold. So when you're completed with this one, you're going to want to create your second one that's in the packet on a different piece or on a different document, because doing columns on two different types of columns on one document can be a very, very strugglesome aspect, and it can be very difficult to do. So my suggestion to you is to save this one as the Vacation Planning and Guide, and then to open up a brand new document to do your second one. One thing to notice here is make sure that you can get your lines on the same line here. If you're having trouble with that, you might have to work with some spacing issues, but again, this first one here should look exactly like the one on the handout. You can go to the second video to help you set up the second one if you so choose to have the instructional video.